What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Sandbox today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. For those of you that don't know what Sandbox is, it's a metaverse token, right? It's actually, I think, the highest market cap metaverse token in the space. Mana, Decentraland, the first metaverse token in the space. Very comparable in price and market cap to Sandbox, but Sandbox is just a little bit higher. Very comparable chart as well, right? You can see that it's at the top of this kind of box that you've been in now for the past like two years. You're at the top. You're looking like you want to break out. You're looking like you want to do good things. You know, from a high to a low, I would expect whenever it comes time to breaking above your 382 here, I would expect you to have a very like nonstop kind of party all the way up to about $2 to $2.70. That could be where you find a momentary high, and then you kind of chill for a month or two, and then you start rallying again. Or you can do what some of the cool kids have been doing on the block lately. A lot of cryptos have been bypassing their 61869 zone, which is not common, right? You consolidate below your 382 like this, you generally do expect to find resistance at the 61869, pull back to the 0.5, go up from there, maybe the 382, go up from there. You don't expect a first time around bypass, but it seems to be the season for that. So it is possible, it's completely possible that when this thing breaks out, when it does break above the 382, you can see targets around like 384 to 556, right? And I would say something like this, being this far down below its 382 and everything, I would say it probably doesn't go all the way up to the 886. You have more of a chance, instead of going into this zone, more of a chance, I would say, like finding resistance at the 786 is my thoughts. But definitely, I would say targets as high as 557 and as low as $2.07 or $2.06 should be considered, right? Statistically speaking, the most probable outcome would be that you stop here in this land of $2.06 to $2.70. That's probably the most statistically likely outcome. But with the, let's just say the atmosphere in the crypto markets right now, the kind of the attitude, the phase, the personality types that the charts are giving us, I think if we took that into consideration, it's completely possible and even potentially likely, I would say, that Sand could top off somewhere between like 380 and 557, and I really do think it'll be probably around that 385 mark. These are end of January targets that I'm talking about, okay? The higher up you go, I mean, the lower you're going to have to correct eventually, but I think that'll be better for you by the end of the cycle. I think the higher up you go now, the higher your end of target price will be. That's kind of my assumption at this moment. You're at 77 cents. Realistic target probably around 384, but at a minimum $2.06, maximum 556, 557 is what I'm expecting. You look at the weekly RSI, or sorry, the monthly RSI, bouncing off the 40 area, kind of had a triple bottom off the 40, moving up here, looking good. That's nice. A little bit of bullish divergence in that respect too, isn't it? You got a higher low here. You had a lower low. That's some bullish divergence. That's nice. Weekly RSI. Little bit of a lower high situation here with your higher high. That's bearish divergence, but you already had your move down. You're already down 15% this week, and you went down a lot lower. You went down below where the divergence started. So really what you're doing is you're just consolidating. Really what you're doing is cooling off your RSI. You got lower lows while forming higher lows. That's anything but bearish, right? It's bullish. It's very, very bullish. Daily RSI getting lower lows as well while promoting higher lows in the price. Hidden bullish divergence. You cooled off in your RSI, right? Look at what you did, right? You look at your RSI here. You're moving up. You're getting into the overbought zone here, right? Look at what your price did whenever you're in the overbought zone, right? It went up. You're chilling over here. You're not in the overbought zone in your RSI, are you? But here you're overbought, and look at what you're doing. So here you cooled off. You're probably looking like you want to go back to your overbought zone. What are you going to do? You're probably going to break out here soon. And maybe not this week, maybe not by the end of this week, maybe not over the next 2 or 3 days, but sometime next week, by the end of next week, which next week ends on December 22nd. December 22nd is the end of next week. I would say before December 22nd, you will be above $1.06. You'll be making strides higher toward this $2.06 and above target area. So Sandbox looking frisky, looking really, really good. Definitely a green light to buy. Overall, I think Sandbox has a very promising future ahead of it. I think that it's going to do pretty well for itself in this cycle. It's worth 77 cents now. Minimum target would be $23, I'm sorry. Maximum target could be something as high as like $84. I don't think it gets to $84. It's possible. If you were to see an $84 price, that's over a 100x from here. A 100x is on the table for this thing, but I'm not giving it too much weight. I would more think that you probably top off around $23, which is a 30x from here, to $39, let's call it $40, which is about a 51x from here. So still decent gains to be had by the end of the cycle. Time will tell how high you go, but I definitely do expect big things to come for Sandbox over the coming months, especially over the coming weeks and over the coming days. So if you guys liked the video, if all that sounded good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. And again, if your question is it a good time to buy? Should I buy now? Should I wait? Whatever. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but yeah, I would get in now. I think it's fine. I think it's a great price. If it goes down a little bit, cool. It's an even better price, but it's probably not going to go down too much more if it goes down, right? I don't think you're going to go below these lows. So, you won't be here forever though. Like you were talking about less than a week's, probably even less than like 3 days time before you start moving up. Okay. That's my thoughts. All right. I'll see you on the next one. Hit that like button. Bye-bye.